It's TK and you bet, man. I'm at Camp Kennerk, and it's been a crazy week. You know, every time I really do try to keep things calm around here, but it just seems to follow me like a little puppy dog that's lost. But that's okay. We survive, we make it. But you wouldn't believe what happened to me this weekend. It was a nice sunny day, Saturday. I'm driving down the country road. And then what happens, Douglas? I see the flashing red lights. I go, oh my gosh. And I'm the only one on the road. So they're coming after me. And the first thing I think of, oh my gosh, I'm a criminal. Oh, so I pull over. I have all the respect for the men and ladies of blue. And I'm standing there. I got my hands at 10 and 2. I got my driver's license. I got my insurance out. And I'm just sitting there. I rolled the windows rolled down. The officer McCallie comes up and he says, "Sir, do you know why I stopped you?" I paused. I said, "Well, officer, let me think about this here. You didn't stop me to tell me it's 70 degrees with a slight breeze out of the west. I know that. Let me think here. Let me think here, officer. Well, you didn't stop me to tell me that I'm 30 minutes late from picking my kids up from baseball. No, 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 that's not it. Um, let me think. Let me think. It's to remind me to get home to put the roast in the oven. And he's just shaking his head, keeps shaking his head. And I said, I give up, officer. I give up. I don't know why you stopped me. He said, he takes the license, looks at the insurance, and he says, Mr. Kennerk, the reason why I stopped you is that your inspection sticker is expired. I said, no, no, there's no way. There's no way. I got it done, gosh, 2 years ago. He says, that's the issue, sir. That's the issue. And so I'm trying to, I don't even say anything else. That's all I say. And he looks down at me and he says, Mr. Kennerk, if I give you a warning ticket, will you promise me that the first thing you do Monday morning is to get your car inspected? I said, well, sure, officer. Yeah, yeah. He says, you're not lying to me, are you? I said, officer, why would I lie to you? You're not my ex-wife. He said, and that's the same reaction he had.
Is beautiful. That is beautiful.
So we're old friends, and he said, well, have a pleasant day. I said, thank you for trusting me, and off we went. So that was my Saturday afternoon.
TK, that is a beautiful, beautiful story. And it's just so good to see you. And a good laugh like that just starts off our 26th podcast of Camp Kennerk.
Yeah, isn't that exciting? I mean, we just started this without much of anything, and we still don't have much of anything, but hey, we're consistent.
We are. We're giving it a shot and talk about. We don't have the money for the investments or all the studio equipment, as you can see.
Yeah, but it gives us creativity. Why should we waste our money on fancy equipment when it's not going to make us any funnier? Is it? Tell me. I mean, be honest with me. Don't lie to me.
TK, let's get started. I've got some very interesting things for you, okay?
Okay.
All right. This is November 12th.
Yes.
Veterans Day was yesterday, and I believe you are celebrating with your son, Kevin, the magnificent computer dude who served proudly in the Marines, and we appreciate his service.
That's right. We got the party all set up, and once we get done with this, we're going to crank it up Camp Kennerk style.
Oh, I love it. I love it. But today is a very interesting day because you know that I love history and I'm this type of odd facts guy. Okay.
Hmm.
So this is November 12th. Okay. So what
It's
has
11.
happened in November 12th in the past that
Oh,
okay. Now, in 1970, the exploding whale incident happened.
ooh, is that
Are you
1970?
1970? Yes. So are you familiar with that? A
No.
beached whale had hit the Oregon coast, and
Uh-huh.
a news reporter went out there to talk about the whale being beached in Oregon. And it was
Yes.
so big they couldn't tow the carcass out and they had to leave it there, and it started to rot. And then all of a sudden, boom, it exploded while on TV.
So no, there was no dynamite or anything. It just took upon itself to have
Explode.
to explode.
Explode. So it's 1970, the exploding whale incident.
Wow. I mean, like, did they have to pick up all the pieces, or did it just blow up so bad that it went out to the ocean?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
Okay.
Thank God.
Yeah.
But I wish I had a front row seat.
Yeah, then maybe you could have met Jonah. Remember Jonah in the whale story?
Oh yes. Oh
Jonah could
yes.
have,
I went to church. I
yeah,
remember.
see, Jonah could have caused that, you know.
Yeah. Well, that was 1970. All right.
Okay.
So let's move on a little bit to 1929. Okay, now
Oh.
that's the start of the Depression. The stock
Hmm.
market crashed in October of 1929. And
Hmm.
1 month later, on 11/12/29, the most beautiful woman in the world, Grace Kelly, was born.
Well, and she was quite a looker. She
She
was.
was a looker. She was an actress in some of her films. Oh, Rear Window, especially, and Catch a Thief with Cary Grant, and High Noon with uh, Cooper. What's his name?
Yeah, Gary Cooper.
Gary Cooper. Yes.
But
Oh,
she went on to become a real life princess.
Princess Grace of Monaco.
Yeah,
Yes.
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 But
So she
if I remember correctly, she had a early demise by a car accident, if I remember
Yes,
correctly.
a very nasty car wreck
Yeah,
because
yeah,
Monaco's on the coast and there's mountain roads and
yeah,
the curve probably going too fast, whatever. But then
yeah.
her daughter was in the car and the daughter got banged up, but Princess Grace died. A very, very, very sad, sad thing.
Yeah, but
So,
boy, she was a great actress and lovely on the eyes.
oh, yes, she's what you call a babe. She's
I
cute.
think she sets the babe standard, you know.
Huge
You have a
standard.
picture of her here, and then you take all the other babes and say, nope, nope, nope.
Well, speaking of another babe, okay, or another cutie, Anne Hathaway was born
Yes,
in 1982.
in 82.
1982. Yes, she was born. So, and she's really
She's a
cute.
great actress. She has a wide range. I really enjoy watching her work.
Yes, yes, she is something. Now, so that covers the cute babes of Camp Kennerk,
Oh yeah, yeah. Matter of fact, that's a great idea. We'll have the Babe Hall of Fame or maybe Hall of Shame. I haven't figured out the name yet.
Just cute. Just a list of pictures of women who are cute. But moving on to the music category. Okay.
Oh,
In 1945, Neil Young was born.
oh, he
He was
reminds.
born in Canada, and then he was in all the super groups, Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young, and he
Yes,
was in a couple more with the
yeah.
not the who was it? The
Oh, there's
Buffalo Springfield. I mean, he was in a lot, so it's
yeah. He
better to just track him and then these other groups.
Yeah, I always think of him with Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. I mean,
Yes.
the music that they played with the harmonies,
All right.
and the period of time that we were in school, high school, college, that really,
Yes, yes.
really set the tone, no pun intended.
That is at the tone. Yes. Now, one more in the music division, a guy named Brian Hyland, who was born in 1943.
Yes.
Brian Hyland.
Hmm.
Now, he was very popular in the 60s. He had basically one song that was very, very popular, and it was called It's Teeny,
Teeny
it's a
weeny beanie bikini.
it's a itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini. It
Yeah.
was a very catchy song in 1960, and Brian Hyland, who
Mhm.
wrote it and sang in it, born in 1943.
One hit wonder that they still talk about today.
Yes, yes. And I think he had another hit, but I think that's the one that his claim to fame.
Yeah.
And it's so itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini.
Yes.
That that is just fantastic.
Yeah, and I'm glad they did that in the 60s because if they would do it today, they'd have to have all these music videos and yeah. Well, maybe that's not so bad, but
Well, you don't even have to go to music videos. You just go to TikTok or Instagram. There's somebody, male or female, uh,
hmm
in their bikini.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And if you look at furniture ads, if you look
Mhm.
at stove ads, Comet cleaner ads, why are they cleaning their house in a yellow polka dot teeny weeny bikini? I never figured
Well, you never know when the UPS delivery man might stop by.
that.
Ma'am, you have to sign for this.
Oh, I love that, TK. I love that. So that's just the start of some of the things that I have. And since it's about dinner time, I have something of interest.
All
Now,
right.
my neighbor, Perry O, who lives next door to me, is a retired chef and he still keeps his hand in. So he walked in last night and brought over some uh, meatballs.
Well,
Meat,
that's funny you mentioned that because my dad called me that all the time. Hey,
meatball.
meatball, get over here.
Well, you were the reason for All in the Family and the
Yeah.
Rob Reiner character. Yeah.
And the first time I went to a restaurant and I saw meatballs on the menu, I thought they named that after me. I didn't realize that that was the other way around, that that was not a complimentary thing. But,
Well, anyway, Perio knocked in the door, and he came in with a plate of meatballs. And I said, "Well,
mhm.
this is very good. This is very. I'll cook up some pasta and have it with the meatballs." And he
Yeah.
said, "These are special meatballs. These are Irish meatballs."
Huh. And when they put lamb in there?
Well, the secret recipe is beef, pork, and he's got a special sauce, but the meat was soaked in Guinness beer.
Ooh.
So
So
these are Irish
so
meatballs.
you can catch a buzz eating dinner.
I don't drive. It's dark. I'm old. I don't drive.
That's right. Be careful of those meatballs, Louis. You never went to the saw. No, 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 the
And
meatball.
then
Please, please,
yeah,
no.
then somebody said that the Swedish invented the meatballs, and I said, "Hey, never ruin a good story with facts."
Exactly.
Perio said they're Irish meatballs because they're soaked in Guinness. Fine by me.
Exactly. And don't argue with him.
Yes,
He's a trained professional.
he's a trained professional. And you see, we're doing this podcast number 26. Very proud
Yes.
of that.
Mhm.
I'm going to open up a Guinness and I'm going to soak my body in Guinness and I'm going to have the meatballs. So there you
Okay. Get yourself lathered up there. Sit in the
go.
tub and pour that Guinness over you. Just
Yeah.
woo.
Well, I'm not going to waste it that way. Well, but TK, I got a couple more things here, and I want to bring in some. We're often talking about $1 million ideas.
Yes.
We've got $1 million ideas. And our game
Mhm.
plan is as we move along with this and we get more viewers in the galaxy
Yes.
who like what we're doing, we're going to create the $1 million website for some products that we recommend. And we've come up with some very interesting things in the past. Remember this mosquito bands that
Hmm.
okay, the mosquito bands, and remember the fruit fly containers. Yeah, remember those?
How
Okay.
about our Buffalo, Wyoming can koozie with the bottle opener attached?
We'll sell 1 million of those.
We will. As a matter of fact, while we're talking about, I need to get my Dr. Pepper sip in
Let me
here
get a Dr. Pepper here to
because,
you.
I work up such a thirst talking with you.
Hmm.
Mm, mm.
Well, I have one more item for the Camp Kennerk $1 million ideas, and I found this over at the grocery store, and they need our help in marketing. They have all the elements, but they need our help.
Our expertise.
I'm sorry?
Expertise.
Expertise. I can't even spell that.
I
Need
can't even. Yeah. Help is what you do with a little old lady coming across the street. That's help. Expertise is when you pretend like you really know what you're talking about.
pretend.
Pretend. It's all play. Yeah, it's all pretend.
Well, I used to be an actor, so there you go.
Exactly. There you go.
Okay, this is what I found. This is Duke Cannon big ass brick of soap.
Wow.
It's got the D on it. So
Yes.
Doug the
Duh.
neighbor.
Duh. Yeah.
It's Duke Cannon big ass brick of soap. And it's something here on the smaller writing says Buck Moon. I don't know what that means. Buck Moon.
Is that the scent or the
I
flavor?
guess it says lime and veterinary.
Lime, is that
Lime,
spelled Lim or Lym?
Lime, lime.
Oh,
And
like the fruit.
Vetiver, Vetiver. So anybody in the galaxy who knows what that means, please contact us. But anyway, I think this is one product that we should put on the $1 million Camp Kennerk idea website.
I see that as a holiday item, no doubt about it, a great stocking stuffer. I
Yes,
did Valentine's Day, Father's Day,
right.
there'd just be countless ways you could use that.
And it applies to both of us. Big asses, big
Yeah,
ass,
yeah,
big ass.
yeah.
Brick of soap. We need it
Mhm.
all.
A
So there you
brick. You need a brick because there's a lot of coverage.
a lot to cover. Absolutely true. So that is something that I found. Now, two more things that are of interest, and both of these arrived today.
Yeah.
And I commissioned these two art projects months ago.
Oh,
Okay, months ago, and
commission them.
I'm sorry, and I'm glad to show you here. Now, this is called a Bernie jar after the gal over at the HEB named Bernie, cute lady, and she's got two grandkids, and she made one of these Bernie jars for her grandkids, and I said I want one, and it was a Halloween gift for her, and I said, well, I want one. So this is a couple of weeks old, right?
It's
No,
for
well,
next Halloween. You're 50 weeks
but
ahead of
I got it
schedule.
now, and it was just delivered today. And take a look at this. This is a jug of colored water. Okay. And
Uh-huh.
there is she took right there at the cashier, she took a picture of my face,
That's a
and
$1 million idea, Douglas.
this is
Don't
a
sell
million
yourself
dollar
short.
idea.
Mhm.
Okay. And then she laminated the picture, and then you just add colored water. It's called a Bernie jug. All right. Isn't that something?
I love it. I love it. That's,
Yes. And I
that's
see 1 million of these, you see. I
yeah.
hope you get that. That's my best picture right there.
Well, yeah, I could see that sitting on the mantle. That's a great conversation starter. When you have people over for barbecue, watching the
Yeah.
game, you say, "Now look at this," or they just may come up and look at it and go, "Ooh, tell us about this, Douglas. How did this come about?" You know?
Doug the neighbor runs into a lot of great neighbors. And we appreciate their creative style.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, and 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 I told her, I said I was going to mention it on the podcast tonight, and I've already mentioned it to a couple of a mom here in town who's got a daughter that's kind of funny, and I said, hey, you got any great pictures of your daughter sticking her tongue out or something like that?
Uh-huh.
Send them the picture. We'll get this done for a Christmas present for her. So
Think about this. You could have what we refer to as a continuity program, is you have a picture of the child at age 1,
yes.
3, 5, 7, all the way up through when they graduate from school. And then, have different colors of water. And it could just be a really cool idea for everyone.
Well, but you're talking Bernie, who also works over at the HEB doing this. So she just said two pictures. So
Well,
here's my suggestion to you. If you get send me a picture of Kevin sticking
uh,
his tongue out or something, and
uh-huh,
then Kyle sticking his tongue out, you see like that.
uh-huh.
You send that on over, and I'll link it up to Bernie, and we'll see if we can't get that done.
Hold on here. Let me make a note. I will get that to you, and that'll be their stocking stuffer for Christmas.
That's right. Okay, Bernie jars.
Yeah.
Uh, Bernie's kind of fun because last time she went to visit her grandkids, she put purple in her hair. Because the grandkids are two girls who are 9 and 10, 10
Oh
whatever.
yeah, yeah.
So the fact that grandma showed up off the plane with purple hair, grandma's cool.
Mom, grandma's the coolest one around. She's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so I kept writing Bernie and I kept saying, okay, what are you going to do for Valentine's Day? What are you going to
Hmm.
do for St. Patrick's Day, green hair? What are you going to do for 4th of July? I said, oh, no, 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 no. And
Hmm.
then all of a sudden she showed me what she had done for the Bernie jar for her grandkids. And I said, I want one. And I
Yeah.
paid her right then and there. And she said, Doug, you don't even know me. Don't worry. You're Bernie.
Oh, you're cool with me.
Yeah, you're cool with me. And I'm going to mention it on the podcast, and we'll see if we can't get her a bunch of customers.
Oh yeah, yeah. We could make that so she doesn't have to work at HEB. She could have an entrepreneurial spirit, enlighten her heart, and make everyone smile.
Isn't that why we're here at Camp
Oh
Kennerk?
yeah. The best way to help yourself is help the other person first.
Absolutely true. Now, I have one more thing here. Now, this thing is a little heavy, so just hang in there. Here's the story. I go on over to the local Maudie's, the Mexican food place,
Yeah.
and there's this cute little gal there, and I call her AG, and she's the hostess. And
Yeah.
this was a year ago, and I was killing time there, and I said, "Oh, you got a summer job, here at the Maudie's as the hostess." Cute little gal, all of
Mhm.
16, 17 years old,
Mhm.
little blonde hair, yeah, cute. I call her AG, and I said, "Yeah, she got summer job." I said, "Well, what do you want to do when you grow up?" And she said, "I want to be a pipeline welder."
Well, how
A
about
TK,
that?
TK, it wasn't, she wanted to study philosophy or be a
Yeah.
therapist
Hmm.
or be a scientist. She said being a pipeline welder.
Well, that's where the money is.
And many, many years ago, working for El Paso Natural Gas, went up to Idaho and worked on a pipeline up there and worked as a grinder on a pipeline. You grind down the pipe and then you weld them together. I
Yes.
lasted about a week because it's really finite work, but I worked at it and
Yes.
it's are flying. And so I said to her, that is amazing. Do you
Hmm.
do any welding, sculpting on the side?
Hmm.
What to stay sharp. She said, yes, I've done. I've done about 3 or 4 little things around my house in the garage. And I have my own welding
Okay.
welding
Great.
ring.
Yeah.
And I said, is your dad a welder? And he said, oh, he used to work at it, but no, he's just a tool guy,
Hmm.
hammer and nail tool guy. I said, okay, I need something. I said to her, I need something. I want you to make me a guitar. And here it is.
She made that.
She made that.
How
Okay.
cool.
It is a guitar. It's about three and a half uh, feet 3.5, 3 feet, 18 inches, about that. And she made it. And it's got the horseshoes in there. It sits on a horseshoe. And you can see the horseshoe in there in the middle, and then it's got the cords, or excuse me, the strings right there. And she did an excellent, excellent job. And this was just delivered today. Just delivered today. You can see up here at the head. But
Yeah.
anyway, you can see the size of this thing,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it is absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Well, congratulations to her. That's very,
Oh
very
yeah,
cool.
AG. And I'm just, I do collect portraits and books and things like that. But
Well, do you
just
think she could be a happy camper and come on and tell us how she does these things?
she's yes, when she's a little older.
Yeah, that's right, because we can't do anything until they're 18.
Yeah,
On
I feel.
YouTube. I mean, YouTube won't let us do anything.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
I just feel uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's fine. It's the YouTube will just block us out.
Okay. And but that's okay because I know where she works.
Yeah.
And so when the birthdays come along and she feels more comfortable,
Sure.
and she hits the magic age, say, hey, would you come
Yeah.
on over and you can talk about.
By then, she'll probably be a world famous artist.
I hope so. I hope
Yeah.
so
Me
because
too.
I think this is number five. I
Uh-huh.
think could be less, three, four,
Mhm.
five.
Mhm.
We're dealing with a young gal and trying to get information out of her, and she thinks who's this
I know.
old?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I know.
You
Yeah.
know,
Mhm.
just because I paid her in advance, and I kept thinking, oh,
Mhm. That's all right. But you're encouraging her in the right direction.
I hope so, and I was glad to give her the money, and she delivered
Yeah.
finally today. So I
Yeah.
got the Bernie jars, and I got the AG. I'm going to call it the Deep Eddy guitar for right now, and
Uh-huh.
that's what we got. So I'm very happy, and basically, TK, that's been my day. It's just been lovely,
Well,
absolutely.
you sound like you had a lot better day, and I'm still trying to get over the fact that I got stopped by the men and ladies of blue, but I realize I'm not a criminal, and I was able to make the officer smile because I'm sure that he doesn't get a whole lot of people that are basically a general smartass. Because I have a funny suspicion he probably went back to the precinct and said, "You won't believe what this guy said to me today." Because they all sit around, they talk about their day. I
Of
stopped
course
this
they do.
guy,
Of
he did
course
that.
they
I don't know.
do. Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful. TK, lovely seeing you today. It's always good. And go Cowboys.
Aaron, go bra.